Welcome to this explainer. Okay, so you know that totally universal, thoroughly annoying modern frustration? That feeling where you finally crash into bed, completely and utterly mentally exhausted, yet somehow you haven't ticked a single actual thing off your to-do list? Yeah, it is incredibly frustrating. But there's actually a fascinating biological reason behind why this happens to us. So let's break it down.
Have you ever spent hours just endlessly scrolling through Reels? Or maybe binging one of those 4-hour video essays? Or, I don't know, watching two guys build a giant underground swimming pool out of mud in the jungle. And then you just feel strangely unproductive afterwards. I mean, we all do it. You spend all this focused mental energy watching other people do things only to end up totally drained, with zero real progress in your own life. It feels like a total paradox, right?
Well, the reason this paradox exists is that your brain fundamentally gets confused between two very different states, consuming and doing. When you're just passively taking in information, your brain basically starts crossing its wires. It literally cannot tell the difference between the passive act of sitting on your couch staring at a screen and the active physical work of actually executing a task yourself. And think about the actual content we're consuming, because that is a huge part of the trap here. We aren't just watching nonsense. We're rapidly binging motivational videos, clever productivity hacks, perfectly aesthetic study routines, intense gym transformations, brilliant business podcasts, and just endless streams of self-help content. It is a literal barrage of self-improvement. And setting up this massive input of helpful information is exactly what triggers a major biological trap that our brains fall right into.
So, here's the actual biological trick being played on you. Every single time you watch one of those highly optimized study routines or incredible workout videos, your brain releases small amounts of dopamine. You know dopamine, right? It's the reward chemical directly linked to achievement. So because of that release, your brain starts actively tricking you. It makes you falsely believe, hey, I'm learning, or I'm improving right now, or I'm doing something really important.
The absolutely crucial point here is this. The brain loves simulation. It totally craves it. Watching someone else completely organize their messy life or crush a super heavy workout temporarily makes your own brain feel organized. It makes you feel active. Watching someone else study makes you feel productive. Your brain basically gets to simulate the entire feeling of success without doing any of the actual heavy lifting.
But no real action happened. You were only observing. Despite feeling highly productive, highly motivated, and incredibly accomplished, your reality hasn't changed at all. You just watched someone else achieve their goals.
And this creates a highly dangerous loop. It's the illusion of progress. Because you've already experienced that hit of dopamine, that emotional reward of completing a task. You lose the actual drive to put in the effort. The emotional reward is already received. Your brain basically says, well, we already feel successful, so why would we actually go do the hard work? And boom, the illusion is complete.
Which brings us to the very painful aftermath of a long scrolling session. There is a stark contrast between our physical state and our reality. Your mind feels incredibly busy, right? Just buzzing with all these new hacks and ideas. And your body actually feels tired from processing all that stimulation. Yet your real-life tasks remain completely untouched. And here's the real kicker. The more content you consume, the harder it becomes to actually start those untouched tasks.
Now, I want to make something absolutely clear before we go any further. Content is not the enemy here. Those business podcasts, those videos, those tutorials, they are fantastic resources. But passive consumption without action, that is the true barrier to your success. The information itself isn't bad at all. It's the passive habit of just watching, absorbing, and then stopping. That's what keeps you stuck in the trap.
So how do we break this trap? Well, we have to look at how the brain actually grows. And spoiler alert, it doesn't grow by just watching other people do it. True cognitive growth requires real, friction-filled steps. It requires creating something from scratch, practicing a skill over and over, struggling with a really difficult concept, failing miserably, and then repeating the entire process. It's the exact opposite of merely watching someone perfectly execute a task on a screen. So here is the absolutely core takeaway for this explainer. Information only changes your life when action follows it. It really is that simple and, that challenging. All the knowledge, all the brilliant hacks, all the inspiring stories you gather from these amazing sources, they have absolutely zero value in your life until they're actively paired with physical implementation. You literally have to do the work.
Which leaves us with a final thought for you to chew on. The very next time you finish consuming something genuinely useful, I challenge you to pause. Break the passive cycle immediately and ask yourself, what is one small action I can take right now? Just choose a single actionable step to execute right this second. Once we're done here, close this explainer, put the device down, and go do that one small thing. Turn that simulation into reality.